Greetings, my YouTube family. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. Today, I'm going to review Microsoft Corp. A lot of businesses, that are focused on the artificial intelligence space. They have been, of interest to most people. So I thought I would just, share my insights on this business. But before I get started, I do want to disclaimer that I own some shares for Microsoft for my long-term investment portfolio, but I'm not doing this video to necessarily promote this business or this stock or acting on their behalf. I'm just doing this video for educational purposes as I usually do. So please do not take this as investment advice. So in terms of the agenda for the day, these are the issues that I'm going to discuss. Introduction, what do they do, the business model, earnings highlights, and also what I think about their financials, including the balance sheet, income statement, and the cash flow statement, and other considerations that I take into account when I'm investing. And for those who don't know me, my name is Isaac Jonas, and I'm a founder of Streetwise Economics. Essentially, I'm on a journey to share my personal finance and investing experiences, because every person has got different experiences. So for me, I like to share these experiences for educational purposes, and I particularly invest in the US and Canadian stock exchanges. And I do this for fun, and it's something that is interesting. But I am an economist by training, and I also hold two master's degrees from the University of British Columbia. So now, a lot of people, including myself, I use a lot of products for Microsoft. I use um, uh, my computers here. I use the Asus, and also I have the Acer. And what I consider when I'm investing in a business, I like to invest in businesses that manufacture or have things that I use on the day-to-day basis, like services. So if I look at, I used to use Skype some years back. LinkedIn, I use LinkedIn. So you see that Microsoft, it develops and licenses this consumer and enterprise software. So it's something that I use every day. And they are also known for their Windows operating systems and Office productivity. So chances are very high that if you use a computer, you might be using products or services by Microsoft. So that's the business behind Microsoft, and you can read specifically to see other things that they do. But when I look at this stock, the things that stand out are that, in terms of the long-term performance of the stock, it has been doing really well. But right now, the 52-week high, it hit $420.82. But I look at the return on equity. Right here, you can see it's 35%. It jumps when I look at the metrics. What it means is, if you had invested your money, over some time, chances are high that, like in this case, it would be compounding at this rate. And then even if you look at return on invested capital, 29%. So I like these things because these are the things that I look at when I'm investing, to say, if I invest my dollar today, why should I invest my money with this business? I want to have a good return. So if I can get 35% per year, that's wonderful. If I get 20%, that means in 5 years, that money would have doubled, 100% return. So that's what I look at. So now, when I, investigate or examine a business that I consider for investing, I look at their past earnings. Like, do they have a history of having good earnings record? Like, you can see they've been consistently beating earnings, right? So their next earnings, usually they come around these dates. They are not yet confirmed, but we will see. And usually when they beat the earnings, usually the stock, it goes up, because when people investors invest in a business, they are betting on the long-term growth of that business. Now, these are things that I then look for in the financial statement. So you can see here their income statement. You can see that their net income here, for the past almost 10 years, you can see that it has been positive, you can see, and it has been increasing consistently. So I like this trend. You can see here 21,000, it has been going, you can see on this, right? So these are the things that I look at. So this is very good when I look at their balance sheets for the past 10 years. So if a business can increase net income consistently and now with low debt. So here I look at the long-term debt. But companies like Microsoft is a big corporation, so usually they have a big balance sheet. So you can see here that they had 41 billion in terms of their debt, but also it has been going up and down. But before I conclude, I go to the cash flow statement to look at the free cash flows, because if they are generating enough cash flows, free cash flows, right? This is the last numbers that I see here. You can see here it's also like for the trailing monthly number, you can see that it's their free cash flows were 67 billion, so they can easily pay off their long-term debt. So for me, that shows that they've capacity to pay to meet their short-term or even long-term debt obligations or financial obligations. So I like, those are things that I like in investing in a business. Now I also like to see what is happening with the insiders, because they have a lot more information than a lot of other outside investors. So for Microsoft, I checked from the toolbox that I use for Rule 1 investing, and I saw that the CEO, Mr. Satya, they last sold 28 February. Actually, in 2023, they sold some shares, but they have lots of shares, and they sometimes they do sell, for various reasons. But I like to invest in a business, particularly if insiders are buying shares, because they know some information that we don't know. Maybe they've beaten earnings or they're doing really, really well, and some of this information I can, find it publicly. But I also like to see what are the people who have money to hire the smartest people, and we have the money. Are they deploying money in Microsoft? I can see here that in Q4 2023, this fund, Chris Horn TSI Fund Management, they bought shares like 10 million, right? So you can see here that 100% they opened a position, and but there were some funds that were selling off, but the reasons could be they believe that the valuation has gone up, or maybe they want to diversify. So these are some of the things I closely examine, and I then go on the filings and I look at them closely. And now, for a business to increase profits, one of the things that they do is they can increase prices, holding other things constant. But I like to know the competition. Like, if I look at the competition in terms of their competitive advantage, the mod score here that I use, they have 95% out of 100, right? You can see that Adobe, in their specific field, they have a clear monopoly, so they can increase or alter the prices. So, but Microsoft, this is pretty good. Not many business can do that. Management, they manage their finances very well, 100%. And then the Rule 1 score that I also consider, and I mentioned the return on equity and also the return on invested capital. These are things that stand out, right? And I can see that there are other players in the business, and I particularly am interested in this company that is called Synopsys, and I will probably consider doing a video in the future. It is a very interesting stock, and also other stocks that you can see here. Now, I've mentioned these are the things that I like, about investing in this business. It is a wonderful mode, and they are known. They have a good track record of profits. But like any business, there are risks, because if you invest in one stock, if it declares bankruptcy, or maybe there's a hit story, or there's something, that is something that can potentially cause the shares to drop, or even for the company to drop to zero. So you can potentially lose your money. So that's why it is very, very important for me. I diversify. I only put not more than 10% under normal circumstances, right, in one individual business. But for exchange traded funds, that's a different story. Now, in conclusion, Microsoft is a wonderful business, and it has been going up, and it is also a good play for me in as far as the artificial intelligence space is concerned, because they have an association with AI and open access. And what I like also is that they've been consistently beating profits, but I believe right now at this point I would wait for the stock to drop a little bit so that I can add more shares. So that's it for today. I just wanted to share my thoughts, and yeah, look out for the next videos on my channel. But I just want to encourage you to please subscribe on this channel so that you don't miss content like this in the future. But this is just the basics of what I do when I'm investing. When I invest in a business, I would even go deeper and analyze a lot of financial statements like I did, right? But I also look at the filings on the Security Exchange Commission, so that I am sure I don't want to invest in businesses that I don't understand. So for this one, I took a position because I believe this is a wonderful business, and that's why I took the shares, and fortunately I got in at a good price. So thank you and have a wonderful day, and may the markets be with you.